Welcome, everybody, to the Follow D Money podcast. We are back. And today, I have a close friend of mine. We became close within the past year. And this young man is doing big things in the city of Indianapolis. And most of the reason why I feel that he is doing big shit is because he is a Cali boy. And you know what I'm saying? When Cali boys link up, man, y'all better watch out, dog. I got my boy Dream from the artistry realm, tattoo parlor. He also owns Memory Lane Tattoo Parlor.
Yeah, Memory Lane Tattoo Club.
Tattoo Club.
Yeah, it's a club, exclusive club.
It's exclusive.
Nah.
Welcome, Dream.
Thank you.
Thanks for
I'm
coming.
happy to be here finally.
Man, I'm glad you're here, man. Also, we're doing something that I don't know if it's ever been done. I mean, I'm sure it's been done, but I don't know. I'm getting tatted here in the studio, and I think if we could have facilitated me getting tatted while I interviewed you, it just wouldn't have been pretty. I already got clowned for having my numbing cream.
No, I wasn't gonna say nothing, but you brought it up.
All right, well, let me ask about that. So when a person comes in and they have numbing cream on,
yeah,
what's the first thing you think? They a bitch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They know they're a bitch, you know. That's why they put it on.
That shit hurt though.
Nah, I feel like you gotta earn that shit. Well, obviously you're tattooed, so you know, but I feel like the first tattoo shouldn't be with numbing cream.
I kind of feel that way too. So that I feel like I have a gang of tats, and I have rarely used numbing cream. I have used it, and it felt like it went away in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
But sometimes, and I think that in this situation, if I'm talking and trying to formulate questions and respond to you, it's going to be hard if I'm crying because I'm a girl when it comes to that shit, bro. Like, it's hard for me. It hurts me.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I know you know.
They hurt.
They hurt, bro.
That's what makes it real, though.
Right. And can we just get into who you are, how you got into tattooing, and why you are so passionate about it?
Okay.
When did you come to Indianapolis?
I was about 16 years old, around there.
Yep.
My dad moved out here. I have a cousin that moved out here first. And, they moved out here. They liked it. They told my dad about it. Then my dad obviously brought us out here.
Yeah.
And
what side of town do you live on?
The west side.
West side. That's where you are now.
Yep. That's why I have so much love for it.
Yeah,
I mean, that's pretty much where I stayed. I
didn't
move around.
Yeah. Did you go to Avon?
No, I went to Ben Davis. Davis. Yep. So I was like
state champs this year, baby.
Yeah. I seen that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Congrats. I was like in 9th grade, I think, end of 9th grade. So I started 10th grade at Ben Davis.
Okay. And in the 9th grade, at that age, were you tagging? Were you?
Yeah, I was a tagger, bro. I moved out here. I think that's what kind of put me on a little bit more, just because I didn't know nobody, bro. I was like a loner.
Yep.
Here, let me wet this.
Oh, there we go. So you, it's weird. It's weird to, like, they tagged out here.
Yeah, the scene was like mainly downtown. Some areas that kind of spread out. You really don't see it. I mean, I didn't have a car and shit back then too, so it was only in the area I was at.
Yep.
But that's pretty much what I did. I didn't have shit to do, so I would just practice my artwork. My taggings, I'll go around at night and just tag. You know what I mean? I felt like I was connected to back home.
Yep.
That's pretty much what kind of introduced me to everything I do now. Just graffiti art.
What was the culture like? Latinos, Hispanics, like it couldn't have been a lot.
No, it was. I mean, from my cousin that was out here first, he was just telling me, man, there's a gang right now compared to what it was before, and I thought there wasn't shit.
Right.
So I could only imagine what he went through, but I didn't think there was like a big scene. If there was, like I said, there may be like around the Little Mex area.
Yeah.
The west side, somewhere there, but it wasn't a lot. Obviously, like Cali, dude, it's like a majority of us out there.
Yes, it's mostly Mexican where I'm from.
Yeah,
like it's Mexican, then black, and then probably Asian.
Asians,
yeah, Asian. Then
well, I went to school, and of course, you know what I mean. I just different culture shock.
Yeah,
I was like wearing Chucks and Vans and shit like that too. And, I feel like nobody was wearing any of that shit,
You were dressing weird to them.
Yeah, I had fucking, it's just now it's like, I think people accept the style and shit no more, but it was just different, and then like I said, I feel like an outcast. I don't know anybody.
Yep.
There wasn't that many Hispanic people, and the people I did fuck with, they were into some shit that I wasn't. So.
Yep.
And it's hard moving out here at that age and shit too. But I mean, that's how I found myself through art.
That's a huge impressionable time for a young man to come, and the whole culture changes. Because that's really when you start to become who you are.
Yeah.
When did you get your first tattoo? Yours?
I was about probably I was like one of the first ones I tattooed on myself. So I was like 16. I started tattooing around, like you could say, around 16, 17. I met a homie out from he's from Oakland.
Yep.
That's what we connected to. Every time I would hit anybody up at school, they were like, where you from? Blah, blah, blah. They could tell right away.
Right.
And they're like, where you from, dog? Whatever, and they're like, oh, I'm from wherever. And then they would just click up.
Yep.
And he was from, I don't know what the hell, I remember where I met him at originally, but he was from Oakland.
Yep.
And he got me, he kind of introduced me to tattooing because he had a homemade machine that he was like been, in the prison system and shit like that too. So he knew how to make.
In high school?
Yeah,
or he was an older dude?
He was, I think he was mine, but he was in juvie.
Oh, okay.
But he had older friends and shit too that put him on to do machines and shit too. So that's how he started. He had a homemade machine.
Yeah.
And then he just seen my art and he said, fuck it, you want to tattoo me?
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, I'm not trying to fuck you up. But at that age, everybody doesn't give a fuck about what the shit looks like.
They just want to get
They want to get tattooed to show it off and go to school and shit.
So your first tattoo you did was your own?
Yeah, so he let me borrow the machine. And now I went home and fucking practiced on myself, you know what I mean? So I was like, I think I tattooed him. But something small, dude. I think it was back to party dots and shit too. So it was technically, my first ones. And then I went home, I had that machine, and I just went home and tattooed myself.
Damn.
I did one on it's gone now because I didn't go deep enough, but it was number 13 on my
oh shit.
on my ankle.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was I think I got like 3 of them, that, and I think the party dots and shit too. I kind of redid them, and I got one right here that says, it's like super old. It's SAOC.
Yeah.
Santa Ana, Orange County. That's where I'm from.
Yep.
I think I remember using shoe polish for ink, dude, because that's what I heard you could use. That's what he told me to use in the pen. So I was like, cool.
Damn. Some people probably want that shit like done in a tattoo parlor with that shit because they want it to be an authentic like gel tat. I'm sure people look for that.
Yeah, it's a whole different style. It's like, I think what he was making the machines for me, obviously I was reusing the needles on myself. I wasn't using them. I wasn't that grimy. But he was telling me use shoe polish, use water it down with baby oil. I wasn't even using paper towels. I was cutting shirts, to wipe shit down. My setup was fucked up, but
you didn't know.
Yeah. I think one time I was out of shoe polish and I used ink, like regular pen ink on a friend, and I fucked him up, man.
Damn.
Yeah. Luckily it was some small where it got infected, but it wasn't crazy.
At what point did you start to see that tattooing was going to be something that you're going to take to the next level? Because you're going from the grimy stage to, it had to be a point where you said, all right, I like doing this and I can make money off of it. When did that happen?
I guess it'll go back to maybe 2 years later after that, where I was around 18, 19 years old. I mean, I didn't think I could make a lot of money, but I could maybe as a side hustle, like maybe a career, but I could make a little side hustle off of this. Because like I said, I was getting people hitting me up that asked me for things I couldn't even do, but they were offering me money and shit too. At the time, it wasn't shit, dude. It was still like $20 or $40. I was like, what the fuck? You gonna pay me, dude? I'm already doing this shit for free.
Yeah.
Now people are telling me, like, my friend wants a tattoo and he said he'll pay if you go to his house or whatever the hell. So that's when I was like, all right. I didn't even set a price. Half the time they would say like, hey, I'll give you this amount of money. And I was like, cool.
Yeah, you would just take it.
Yeah. Until I started getting used to charging like 20, 40, $50, and then that's what I would tell people. That's how much I'm charging and shit. But I would go to their house and tattoo them there. But then that's when I kind of had a feeling like, dude, I could take this to the next level and just invest my time and shit too. But I started tattooing, dude, when YouTube wasn't around.
Yeah.
I couldn't just look up how to be a dope tattoo artist or how to do line work and shit too. There was nothing out there.
Damn.
So I was just buying magazines and like ripping out pages and like trying to focus on like how the dude was holding the machine.
Right.
Just trial and error.
Yeah.
I just really, really studied. I really wanted it. That's what, what I mean? But I think I learned more from fucking up, dude. Trial and error.
I think that's a crazy story because when I first met you, I wanted something done by you. I just saw your Instagram page and I was like, I hit you up and I was like, bro, I need something. And you were like, come in and let me do a consultation. And what you told me was you don't just do anything. You do shit that you know you can kill.
Yeah.
So that's a whole nother thought process than what you were doing. Yeah. So I need to know how you became that artist.
Yeah, like I tell everybody, like all the artists I meet, I always tell them there's levels to the shit. It was like when I told you that was like level 1.
Right.
Like level 1 me. And then it's level 2, level 3.
Yeah.
You want to get to that level 2 where, like I said, you pick and choose what you want to do.
Yep.
But I went through all the little bullshit tattoos and did everything that, everything that came at me. I was doing color.
Yeah.
I was doing tribal. I was doing all the shit I hate now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was doing, obviously executing bad tattoos, bro. It was like, at one point it was cool because I was doing small bangers, whatever, but then I was doing bigger shit that I could never charge more if the quality wasn't there, but I was stuck same time doing shit I didn't want to do.
Yeah.
But I started to notice the more I did shit I liked to do, then I would do better, cleaner work and shit too.
Yep.
But then I just built my name up for I would give out specials or whatever I had to do to build my name on what I exactly wanted to do until I started getting people just like you, look for a style that see me. You go to my page, that's all he does is West Coast black and gray, realism and shit too. But that's how I built my name to get to that.
That's what's up.
Start filtering, but I had to go through all that bullshit to figure out, man, this ain't me. If I keep doing this, I'm gonna, my heart's not in it. You know what I mean? It's gonna turn out whack.
Yeah. Are you at a point right now where you can turn down a tattoo no matter what the price they offer? Are you at that point?
I mean, if somebody tells me that they'll pay me 10 bands for a butterfly, I'll still do it.
Right.
It's just not the point, But if it's very close to the shit I do, I don't even take it on.
Yeah.
What I do now, I pass it because we have, our studios is about 24 artists right now.
Damn.
So I'll make them choose one of them.
Yeah.
When they come in, if they want, say like new and traditional or traditional shit that I don't do, I still appreciate them coming through, but. I see what they want, and I try to connect them to the person that could do it.
Right, to give them the best product.
So I just don't let it pass on, but I'll make sure they get their tattooing right.
24 artists, that's a lot, man.
Yeah. From being by myself to when we first opened up the studio was 2 artists, me and 2 other artists, bro, and my brother, as an apprentice.
Damn, man. How did becoming a business owner happen for you? At some point, you go from tattooing people in bathrooms and garages and houses and taking their price to I'm going to open my own shop. What made that happen?
Like I said, I think I've always been the one that learns from trial and error.
Yeah.
And seeing other people's errors and shit too. Seeing that, man, they could do the shit, I can do the shit.
Yep.
So I was working at a studio, one of my first studios I was in, and I would notice the owner, he had no pride in what he was doing, man, no passion.
Yeah.
He probably did at some point, but he was an old tattooer. He thought he could ride off of that.
Yeah.
But just seeing like everything he did wrong, you know what I mean? And I'm like, man, I have way more passion than this dude. I was getting all the clientele, all the specials. I was telling him, hey, we should do this, like Friday the 13th. People are against that shit, but I feel like any business that wants to grow, you do whatever it takes to get people to walk in your doors.
Yep.
And I knew he's building his business. I was tattooing every day, but he wasn't, so I was trying to get business for him.
Yep.
Throwing him ideas that you should do this, you should do that. And he's like, no, and I would still go ahead and do them. And people through the doors and shit too. And I was like, and he would say like, oh, that's cool. You know what I mean? But then I started realizing, dude, I should do this shit for myself.
Yep.
So I started thinking bigger, like if he could do this shit, I could do this shit, bro. And then just started getting real invested in how to run a shop. And I would pay close attention on what everything we needed, with documents, everything we did. So I was to build my own, I had that vision.
Yep.
I've always had, once I knew tattooing was my thing, I've always had that shit in my head.
Yep.
I just trying to figure out when was the right time to execute this plan I had. And then one day I just felt it I really got to do this shit, dude. It's now or never. Either that or you're going to sink with him.
Yep.
Because I started feeling like if I continue to ride this shop, then I'm going to become this person.
Yep.
So,
and then you decided that you're going to do that where you grew up in Indiana, but like on the west side.
I actually wanted to do that shit in Cali. That's my main thing. I'm going to go back and then, take this shit back,
Yep.
But, one thing led to another. I had my kid, my girl, all that. So I just ended up staying, dude, and just, obviously one thing became harder to do the other thing. But I started getting love for the city and then started realizing all my clientele's here. And then, obviously the style I do, if I go over there, then I'm just a normal motherfucker.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there's so many people doing
everybody
this
in Cali doing West Coast style.
Yeah.
So that's normal. Yeah.
So it's like here I stand out more. So my chances are higher. And then they already come for me. I would say maybe, still to this day, I would say like 70, 80% of the people I tattoo, they're from Cali, from Texas, from, Chicago, places that, people aren't from, but they could tell the style was not from here.
Yeah. Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah,
I didn't think that. Oh, I guess that makes sense.
That's how I meet a lot of people just like you, man. It's like people come through, they see it, and they know right away there's black. Because there's black and gray, there's dope black and gray artists here. It's just a whole different style.
Yep. Let's take a break.
Ooh.
We are back with Dream, one of my favorite tattoo artists in the city of Indianapolis, but also just a renowned tattoo artist to begin with. What people do not know, because we took a little break, and in the studio, you brought your whole tattoo setup, and you did a tattoo for about an hour and a half on my hand, and one that damn thing hurt.
I was thinking you were gonna say it didn't hurt.
Oh, it hurt like a motherfucker. So when it comes to tattooing, we talked about how you feel about numbing cream, but that is a market that is something that you could possibly tap into, right?
More and more people are using it.
Yeah. And do you see a way that you can capitalize on that?
Oh yeah, definitely. On my Dream Cream.
Yeah, Dream Cream. Let's talk about Dream Cream.
That's something we've been thinking about doing. My partner and I have a partner in the business in the shop.
Yep.
We've been talking about expanding and getting into like tattoo needles, tattoo medical supplies, and one of them is numbing cream.
Yeah. So are you branding it like it's going to be something that you're going to put out on the market, or are you just going to sell it at your shop?
Both. I want to sell it. Just like I said, there's 23, 24 artists that work with us. When we expand our shop, there's going to be about 36.
Dang.
So, having all these guys try it out for us and use it, and then we expand, I feel like it goes hand in hand.
Dang, man. When it comes to the business side of anything, and expansion is always dope.
Mm-hmm.
How do you find room for 36 artists? Like, it's not going to be 36 people tattooing at the same time.
No. Well, I'm counting our Memory Lane studio. There's about like 9 artists. I'm including apprentices too.
Okay.
And then what we have now at the artistry realm, and then plus what we add. That's what I'm counting.
Okay.
But yeah, some of these guys, they're on the rotation as well too. The ones that aren't tattooing as much, they use whoever station is open. Everybody's on their own schedule. They come and go as you please.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And so it's never a full shop unless we have an event. We ask everybody to show up, they will.
Yep.
But besides that, it's always kind of like here. Everything's open. They're here super early. Some are there till like 4 or 5 in the morning.
Wow. Do you guys have a website?
Website? No.
Well, that's an opportunity for you. Like,
I
know people that's listening, they do websites, and you definitely want a website.
We will.
Yeah.
Especially when we get like the tattoo supply, we're getting into that. Man.
That'll take you to a whole nother level. I know that you guys are probably busy, and a lot of times people don't introduce things because they don't want that extra. But I think that a website will allow people to see your schedule, all that stuff too.
That's exactly why we didn't, like you said, that you didn't think that extra was like, dude, we're already good the way we are.
Right.
But if we're trying to get to that next level, we will.
Yeah. Do you have, for a lack of a better word, do you have dreams about what you want to do in the tattoo?
That's why my name is Dreamer.
Like, what do you see yourself, like, where do you want to go with tattooing?
where I want to go, man, as far as it takes me. You know, I want to be able to, for me, like I'm a big believer in like purpose. Where I want to be, where I want to be doing, educating people in tattooing and putting people on. I want to be known as the Dr. Dre of tattooing, man.
Right on.
You know what I mean? Bringing the right people on.
Yep.
Like I said, I was talking to my cousin. He's a great artist, man, giving the opportunity because nobody gave it to me when I was trying to, knock on doors, get apprenticeships. Nobody, put me on. But I feel like there's a lot of good talent out there, and I want to. That's where I see myself educating those people, doing seminars, online classes, whatever it takes, man, and for me to live a better life and help others through the process.
The tattoo industry is so big and it's growing. And back when I was young, getting tattoos, not everybody was getting tattoos. Like when I was getting tattoos, it was like if you have a tattoo, people looked at you a certain way. Yeah. And now a grandma that is teaching churches have tattoos. Why do you think that shift happened? What happened to where a tattoo is now like?
I think mainstream, bro. Like MTV started doing them shows, and you see all these like NFL players, basketball players, rock stars, people with like a lot of fame, money, entrepreneurs that have tattoos. So now it like flipped around.
Yeah, it used to have a stigma. Like people used to think that tattoo artists, or not tattoo artists, people that had tattoos were either criminals.
Tattoo artists too. Tattoo artists and people getting tattooed. It was like a low society type shit.
Low society type people. Yeah. And now it's weird if you don't have a tattoo.
Yeah, they're luxuries, man, that people, like, if you don't have them, it's like, shit, you got the chain, you got all that shit, but you don't got a good tattoo. It just you don't balance off correctly.
Right.
But I think people see them, not everybody, but it's like, it is a luxury. Like the type of clientele we get at the studio, man, it's, we're tattooing lawyers, doctors, surgeons, and you know what I mean? Football players, basketball players. I think everybody you could think of that you can't be like, oh, tattoo, you know what I mean? Nobody could ever talk down on the industry or the person getting tattooed when they're doing very well. It's like, what do you got to say now?
Correct. I think that's what happened. Like, I think there were people who were getting tattoos that had like clout, or they got respect, and now people were like, oh, my doctor had a tattoo, so now I'm not afraid to get one. Yeah. And it kind of changed it.
Yeah, they started seeing other people that maybe they worried about what they were going to say. Now they have it, so it's like you really can't see shit. You really must not like tattooing. It's just not your thing for you not to get it. But I think the stigma, it's still there, but it's not as bad, man. Yeah. I still feel sometimes I go to places and people will look at me different because I'm blasted in my whole head. You know, a lot of my torso, everything's blasted. But at the same time, dude, I mean, I got tattooed to look different, so I can't get mad at people for looking at me different. Right. You know what I mean? I want to stand out. Right. And then I can't get mad because I stand out. Right. You know what I mean? So I know what I got myself into. I'll be staring at people too. They be coming in on the door. They're like super tatted. Yep. Yeah, you catch me staring at them. You know what I mean? I'm not staring at...
that's a kind of a weird thing, because when I see people who are tatted, I really want to see what they have, but I don't want to look like I'm staring, because I don't know how that interaction will go. Because me personally, I love when people say, hey, let me see your arm, that's dope. Or, let me see your tattoos. But I personally, when I look at somebody, even if I saw you, I wouldn't be like, hey, let me see your arm real quick. But I think that's kind of why we get it.
Yeah, some dudes stand out. We can't get mad at people. It's going to be 50-50. They're going to stare at you because they may not like your tattoos, or stare you because they're admiring your work. Right. But like I said, we got it to stand out, so we can't get mad when people, dog you down and shit too. I had was like an 80-year-old lady at Panera one time. I was getting my drink, and she walked up to me and grabbed my hand. And then, she's super old. It kind of freaked me the fuck out. And then she's just like rubbing on my arm and shit. And she's like, I really love your work. And I think my work looks like shit because it was old work I got. Right. And she said, she started asking questions. And she told me, and I remember this, she said, I wish I had the balls you did. When I was younger, I was listening to, people telling me not to get them. And, I just got them because, I thought they were bad, but they're so beautiful. I've always admired the work. She was old. I'll probably shoot by 80 years old. Damn. And she said she wished she could get them. I told her, you still can, but she obviously didn't get them. But she, you know what I mean? She, I don't know. She just, she made me think different and shit too. So, I feel like there's a lot of people out there like her too.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And working at the airport, I always run into people different people and they'll say like, I love your art, and I like that. That's a dope feeling.
Yeah.
Because it's random people. And then usually it's the people who are not tattooed or they're older or something like that. That's a great feeling.
It's a difference. I'm sure from you and I come from, it's a difference from me getting stared at by like a Karen that I really don't give a fuck about. Script to be being in the hood and I'm getting stared at. They're trying to read me.
That's a whole other look. Yeah.
So that's the shit I'd be worried about more, the looks you're giving me because of that compared to
Right.
Karen don't like me.
We could care less about a Karen.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So I don't give a shit about them. It offends me. A lot of my shit's cultural anyway, so
right.
I really don't care.
Same for me. Most of my tattoos represent where I'm from. So, like, even when I'm going to go back to L.A., it could pose a problem sometime. Just because people do look at tattoos out there. They're looking at what this shit says.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All the time.
You could tell. You could read people's like the way they're looking at you and shit too, their energy.
Yeah.
When they're looking at you to see, you know what I mean, to see if someone is against what they believe in and want to die for and shit, compared to somebody else that just doesn't like work.
Yeah.
But that's the beauty about tattooing, though. It's the excitement you get from not knowing where the fuck it's going to take you.
It's a little adventure.
Yeah. I've been in the places I feel out of place, you know what I mean? Just because it's a nice area, just maybe you got to dress nice here and shit, too. And I get in there and they show hella love.
Yeah.
And I've been into some places, I'm like, I definitely belong here. And they treat me like, they just look at you different. I guess now it's just whoever, hit or miss.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna do some fun stuff where we can go back and forth. I wanna you guys did something that interests me at the shop, and you posted it where you guys were talking about green flag customers when they come in to get tatted. But I'll also give you, from my perspective, some green flag when it comes to tattoo artists. And
That'd be cool.
Like what's important. Okay, so I'll say one, and then we can talk about it, and then you say one, and then we'll go back and forth on.
Gotcha.
So I'm gonna say, for me, first and foremost, I think that I want my tattoo artists to have clean hygiene. I think that's number one for me.
Yep. That's good.
Yeah.
That's real good. Because that's that video I did too, is that's what I say for a client. I want good hygiene, man. If I'm gonna tattoo you, see, we're gonna be next to each other, dude. We better smell good.
Right. And like, cause you're right up on the person, and normally it's for hours. Most of the time you're not doing tiny tattoos. Most of the time you're gonna do at least something that's gonna take about at least 30 minutes to an hour.
Yep.
Right?
Imagine tattooing an area where it's like the armpit or the foot,
and you stink, and or you just musty, like.
And it's embarrassing for me to. I feel awkward just telling you, hey, you know what? Can you put some Axe on, or can you wash up?
Have
or
you
your
ever had
foot?
to do that?
And it's more weird when it's a girl, man. And I had to tell some chick one time, I was tattooing the top of her foot, and she pulled up. We're about to do a tattoo, and she took her boot off. And fuck, man, that shit. That shit.
Her boots.
Her
feet
her
stank.
Uggs,
Damn, sweaty ass toes, bro.
I'm sure she was working. She probably had an excuse, but like, you know what I mean. But
but that's
and
bad.
it's embarrassing. It's awkward for me, man, because I have to tell you, for me, I have a thing with feet, dude. If you know it already, not like a fetish, but a thing. I don't like feet. No.
Oh, okay. So
I'm not one
do
of
you
those.
tattoo them often, or
I tattoo them often, but I had to tell her to go wash her feet, and then she's like, "Oh, cool, yeah." And then she explained she's got for it. I go, "It's cool, can you go?" But then it just makes the whole session awkward.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Now it's just I'm trying to be. I don't know. It just fucking feels weird. So, but if I got to tell you, I will.
Yeah, you should. That's good though, and I think that comes with a level of professionalism too, because I think that there are artists that just suck that shit up and just smell it. Yeah, because they don't have the confidence to say something.
There's been times where I walk by like the studio and somebody is like, "Damn, this is one of these motherfuckers smells." So I know the artist knows who it is, but I'm like, "Man, why don't you tell him some shit?" I have Axe on me. Or whatever the fuck, or some cologne. So I could tell him, hey, you know what? I know it's a long day, dude. You're probably sweating. I'll just fucking tell him you're sweating because you're nervous.
Right.
But here's some Axe, bro. And they'll be like, cool.
Right.
You got to do something.
I'll tell you this. When I get tatted, I get fucking sweaty. Like sweaty. But I don't want to stink. You know what I mean? So that's kind of important.
Yeah, because especially if people are getting off of work. Like I said, they probably already, smell from sweating all day, and they're going to get that too sweat even more, dude, and it's just fucking bad.
Yeah.
But that's a green flag for me. If you come smell, I could tell you showered, you smell good, you got a good energy, I'm good. Let's get this.
Good. Okay. Number 2 for me, I love an artist that will not just tattoo anything that I ask them to do. Like if I say I want something and they don't, if you have suggestions or you give me feedback about the tattoo I want, that's a green flag.
Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one too.
All right.
For me, it would be a green flag would be artistic freedom. I think that's a big one for shit. I think any artist would probably say that shit. That's a big one.
So what does that mean though when you say artistic freedom?
I mean, you bring kind of like what you just said. You bring me the idea, and I'm not gonna just do it dot for dot. You know, I'm gonna give you my twists, give you my input on what I think needs to be changed and shit into, and just do my thing, put my twist, my style, my heart in that shit.
Right.
So it's like you tell me I want a dragon with some fire, and you just give me your concept, and then I create it. You trust me completely to create some dope ass shit.
Yeah.
Compared to like you micromanaging me, it's like, no, I don't like the face. I don't like this. I think it should be going this way, even though, artistically it's incorrect the way it's facing or some shit, but people are super stubborn.
Yeah.
And, they micromanage the fuck out of you, and you just can't think. You can't just create. They just make it so hard. And I don't know, it's just bad when, it's like anything getting micromanaged is bad. So imagine trying to create some shit. And
so what about the people who have these drawings that they have and they
flashes?
Is that what they call them?
Flash, like already pre-made flash.
Yeah, so they're like, I've talked to people and they're like, oh, I'm gonna draw this and I want them to put it just like this and have it tattooed on me. And I'm just like,
that's a whole different style, man. That's a traditional style, which what I do and like other artists like do, especially with realism shit like that. We create like custom pieces. You bring the design. We can still have some pre-made already that we designed.
Yeah.
Or if it's like realism, we'll find a realistic picture of like a skull or like a tiger or some shit. Then we'll just add a little, if you like, flair to it.
Yeah.
But flash is like a traditional style where you just pretty much a few lines and it's already there. It's a banger. That's what people call it like bangers.
But what if people can't really like? I mean, I'm talking about people who want like they just said that they daughter won the second grade art contest. And they bring you this, and they say, I want it to look just like this.
You do that, man.
Damn.
There's people who have walk-in artists that say their daughter's done something like cool drawing. I think that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah,
we have artists
it is cool, but it's not going to look like that.
Yeah.
Like not most of the time, it's not going to look like that picture.
Yep. It's true too. But like I said, if the artist is
good though,
they can replicate and make it look like strokes and shit.
Yeah.
But sometimes, if the artist that's with the artist, they can't tattoo that. They got to be honest and say it.
And I only say that to say that in that situation, there's not a lot of artistic freedom.
Yep.
In those situations.
Yeah, we're like shit like that. We'll pass it on to whoever wants to do it.
Right.
Or we could, tell them, we should add a frame to this or something, make it more special.
Yeah.
But if there's some shit you can't change like that, you know what I mean? So say someone's getting the lovers or loved ones' fingerprints, you can't really change a lot of shit.
No.
Or a portrait, they just want the portrait. You can't change so much shit. They just want
some real that's some intricate shit. A finger.
Yeah. People will get like just you're getting the prints done. You'll go there and get that shit tattooed. A lot of people will mix it together, get like a heartbeat. A heart.
Yeah, with the fingerprints.
Yep.
Jeez, so bro, like you see some crazy shit.
Yeah, that should stop. That's something I wouldn't do. That's fine line, but there's some artists. There's an artist in our shop that does microrealism. He'll do that shit for you all day.
Damn.
That shit looks dope. Looks like an actual fingerprint.
For me, another green flag would be an artist that I can communicate with during the tattoo. Like if we don't have anything in common, if it's hard for me to just sit there and just be like, and you just doing your thing, and you stop and we don't talk. I don't get to know you.
Yeah,
I like to get to know the artist because when I have something done, I have the history. And I'm like, yeah, this dude is dope. Like he came from Cali, went to West Side of Indy, started his own shop. Like, damn, he cool as hell. Like, yeah, he's starting to do all this other shit. Like, that's cool. He tatted me. I don't know shit about him, but it looked good.
That's one thing I tell a lot of the new artists, man. Yeah. It's like you're gonna sit down with your client for hours. You better get to know them. That's how you build clientele. Because, maybe if you're established and you already tattooed them a few times, it's a different story, man. But if you're really trying to get people to come back and bring back the business to you, you better make it feel comfortable.
Yeah.
You better talk to them. You better get to know their name, if they have kids, what they're into, shit like that, man. You got to make it feel comfortable and, loosen up and shit too. And Make them feel like they're part of the family and shit too.
Yep.
And it just goes both ways.
How important is it to build your network in your field? Like, I know that you don't need to go out and search for people, but how important is it that you have a network of people that trust you, that respect you, that know that you have integrity, you're accountable, and all that stuff? Like, when you're building that kind of network in your industry, it doesn't matter if you're good, bad, or whatever. People want to go to that person. How important is that to you?
It's a reputation is key.
Yeah,
reputation is everything. When your reputation ain't, like I said, if you don't hold nothing of value, like you know what I mean? I think it just doesn't look well upon you. You know, I think it's very important for you to have good customer service. All that shit, dude, is very, very important for you to. You can probably tattoo one person, but the thing is, you want them to come back. You want them to talk highly about you to the next person, and you bring people in. Besides social media, you know what I mean? To try to grow in your city, you got to try to grow a name.
Yep.
So you try to put out bangers. You better put a name behind the tattoo as well too, because like you said, if they give you a tattoo, but you really don't get to know the person, most likely they're probably gonna forget your fucking name when they.
Right.
I've had that happen a lot of times when I tell people, "Who did your tattoos?" Like, I don't know.
Damn.
How the fuck do you don't know? You sat with them for. They say that shit took 6 hours. How do you not know his name?
Right.
You know, sometimes the little bangers, but who's that? And they tell you where they're at. You know, their Instagram, their name, all that shit. I'm sure that person give them some value for the tattoo.
Right.
That shit will bring them back. That shit will, make people recommend you and shit too. But I think that shit's very important though.
I do believe a tattoo is an experience.
It is.
It's not just an action. It's like it's a whole experience. Because you guys have to sit there. You have to draw. Then you place it on the hand. Then you set up your thing. And in that time, there's an interaction that could be happening. Mm-hmm. There's a relationship, a friendship that can be brewing.
Yep.
Just right there. And if you don't talk to the person, then you never know. You might not end up in a studio tattooing a dude, or I might not have ever went to Art Connect. You know what I mean? Like it's so dope that the first time that you tattooed me, that we had this long conversation. We were sitting there for like 6-7 hours that first time, and I just was like, dang, I know I'm gonna connect with this dude again. And that whole time, like, we've been doing shit, like, just passing and linking up every once in a while. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, I appreciate it too. And that, like I said, I think it's very important. You're going to sit with somebody, like I've met some dope-ass people, build some real good relationships through tattooing. People recommend me or I figure out what they do for a living, and I'm like, wow, and we'll sit there and have this big-ass convo, something that could better my life, or something I could help them on bettering their life. Or,
right.
Adding value to the time we're spending together, but putting good energy out and good vibe. That's another green flag for me. It's like the way that people carry themselves and the energy that they bring, and it's just all good, bro. I met real incredible people through actually talking to the person, So if artists don't do that shit, that's one thing they're we always say it's like if people that just come through, put their headphones on and hoodie on, shit like that, like known as like dick artists, man. You know what I mean? Just very short with the person. You don't say shit. You know what I mean? How you doing? Good. You know what I mean? Like the person is always hyped to be there to get tattooed most of the time. So making the experience a little bit better for them. You know what I mean? I think it's key.
I think that there is a feeling sometimes that a tattoo artist wants to be very tough. Yeah. Like they don't want to seem like they're not a pushover, but it's just like this thing that I'm a tattoo artist. I'm tough. Yeah, I'm hard.
Shit,
like I don't want to smile. I'm getting down to business, and I'm okay. That's fine, but it doesn't help you. It doesn't help the artist at all.
That's part of the stigma that why people didn't like tattoo artists in the beginning, because they're just. You know what I mean? Even me growing up, I always thought there was like old biker smelly motherfucker you know what I mean? Is like sit down, pick some shit off the wall and shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we're trying to change that shit too. That there is artists out there like that, dog, that shit to be in the industry.
Yeah, that's crazy. I want to know, what is the best advice you were given coming up as a tattoo artist?
That's a good one. The best advice is
that someone gave you, that you used on your journey.
With tattooing or just in general?
Just in general, just coming up as a young man doing what you do, and now you're a business owner. So I know that you've been given advice along the way.
Yeah. One of the people I really look up to, man, is one of my cousins. He's one of the first entrepreneurs in my family.
Yep.
And he used to always take me right along. He doesn't tattoo, of course, or like artistic and shit, but he was like, he did well for our family, and he'd always put me on, take me to drives with him and shit too. And he was to tell me, he said, look around you, man, all these bosses and shit, you see, and you're working for, and your dad and shit too. He's like, why can't you be like them? They're no better than you.
Yeah.
You could be in their place. You know what I mean? But it takes hard work, dedication. You have a purpose, and you be focused, and you can do whatever you want.
Yep.
And that's one thing that always stuck to me. It's like, there are no, you know what I mean? Because growing up too, like my dad, he's my idol, man. He's one of the people I idolize. He works hard.
Yep.
But I feel like he was always undervalued and shit too. He always worked for people. Knowing that, I feel like he could have done, he's a painter.
Yep.
So he could have always had his own paint company and shit too, but he always felt comfortable working for other people. And that was my mentality too growing up. It's like we had to work for people and get what we get, like that, those type of lifestyles weren't for us and shit too. And it kind of made me flip that, saying, you could, this shit for both, that's for our people too.
Yep.
That's pretty much what it made me feel.
Yep.
And that shit always stuck with me, saying that whatever the fuck I want to do, if they can do it, we can do it. They know better than us.
Nope. I love that, man. Mm-hmm. And you definitely took that shit and ran with it.
Yeah. And that's one thing I always tell. I told my son and shit too the same way. Whatever you want to do, man, as long as you have your heart's in the right place, you'll be able to do it. Because you have no interest, you're not going to do it,
Yep.
So, that's one thing that always stuck. And I always tell people the same thing, you could be whatever you want to be. There's nobody could hold that title for so long. And if there's more positions, you can get in whatever the fuck you want to do. But you got to really want it.
That's what's up, bro. I know that you probably spend a lot of time at the shop. You probably spend most of your time at Artistry Realm, right?
Artistry Realm. I go to Memory Lane here and there as well too. But yeah, I'm there all the. The sessions and shit go fucking 8 to 10 hours, sometimes more. So that's my.
But
that's
what
my
do you
home.
do? What do you do for when you want to just relax? When you want to not tattoo, what do you do for fun?
Probably tattoo. I love this shit, man.
That's
you know
good.
what I mean?
I love
I always
that,
tell people if I wasn't getting paid to tattoo, I'll still tattoo.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm luckily I'm getting paid for this shit.
Yeah, yeah, that's what's up.
But I'm always, I don't know, man. I'm super invested in what I do. I'm always watching videos on how to grow. What's our next move? Like I said, right now we're expanding the studio, working on that. I feel like there is no rest, but I love this shit, so it feels like I'm not working, man. Besides that, of course, it's spending time with my family and shit too. But like I said, just finding out how to get better, and where my next moves are and shit too.
You told me earlier that you want to start teaching how to tattoo. You want to do seminars and things like that. Yeah. So how far is that how far away is that on your radar?
Within next year, hopefully.
Okay.
We're building like another little private studio as well too for us to be able to record.
Yep.
Either we're trying to get into maybe podcasts, seminars where we just talk, to the camera, maybe sell shit online or bring a group of people. I've done like seminars, one-on-one seminars where the person comes and, I teach them whatever I can. They ask me Q&A type shit.
Yep.
I feel like the best way to learn is hands-on.
Yep.
Especially them seeing me, because that's the shit I want to do, you know. Sometimes just one little thing they could modify and changes their whole fucking way they tattoo.
Yep.
But that's what we're trying to get into next. I'm not really sure what exactly, but we're definitely doing one of those... Maybe not all, man. Shit.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. I definitely want to be involved. Whatever you do, dog, you can hit me up anytime.
I know.
I always got your back,
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I always got you. You always got me. And I want you to reach out anytime you need anything, bro.
I appreciate it.
You're like family to me.
Thank you.
And have been since day one.
Hell
What was I gonna ask? I was gonna ask you, why the fuck are you a Raiders fan?
Why not?
Nah, so I grew up in LA, right?
Yeah.
But I was born in Denver, so I've always...
You're a Broncos fan?
I've always been a...
Man, you should told me this shit before I pulled up.
But all my family, they're Raiders fans. Oh my God. All my friends, Raiders fans, I've hated them motherfuckers forever.
Damn, man. I don't see you the same no more, bro. Just growing up in Cali, dog, the same thing. All my family, I just see that shit growing up. They were LA Raiders when I was there. And, it's just the fan base.
LA Raiders.
We're a minority team. Being there, we was only black and brown, the only motherfuckers that really had.
That fucked with them,
We had the first Mexican coach,
Yeah.
Tom Flores.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why. I think it was mainly of the culture and shit, which that's the shit I love.
Yeah, but then Art Shell was a coach too. Like, the Raiders always been down there. Right now, they got like their head coach, their GM, and their like some other the black lady. Like, they got their front office is dope. Like, they've always been pretty in the forefront of being progressive about
so that's one thing that drew me to me. Just a whole fucking family and vibe and shit. Sometimes I don't give a fuck about the score, man. Just about the vibe and shit too. It's always been about family and just watching the dope. And of course, I want to fucking win, bro.
Right, of course.
It's the experience too that counts.
Yeah. That's what's up, man.
We'll keep saying that shit till we win games, but yeah.
Let's talk about a little bit about Art Connect and how that came about and how it's going and what's the plans for that.
Shit, the Art Connect, same thing going back to where we're talking about culture. Me and my partner, we were talking about doing the show. Rob, man. He's
Rob Sloan, shout out.
Yeah, Rob Sloan, shout him out.
Yeah.
He's a big inspiration to me too, dude. He's fucking a hard worker and he's a great painter. So you know what I mean? He knows he's hella plugged in the art industry too. So we were just talking about putting a show that's different. For me, it's always been about, I don't want to be better, I want to be different. I think being different will make it better.
Yep.
So it's like, let's do something fucking, to bring the culture, to bring, for just me getting inspired to what I used to see out in Cali and shit too. And I was like, there's fucking nothing out here like this. There's some like, some contemporary art and shit too. So I just wanted to make it real street and shit too. And bring up and coming artists too. Like, I'm always trying to give up, people opportunity to grow and give them a platform and shit to speak and speak with their art and shit too. So we just got together. We just talked about doing a random show. I wanted that shit to, if it's going to be street, I want that shit to look gutter.
Yeah.
So we went around and tried to find like a warehouse and shit. Like, we had just a list of what we wanted to do and it all worked out, bro. The first one, we got a taco truck and pulled up some food vendors, graffiti artists. We just, called the streets and see, from the people I know and Rob and shit too, they pulled up. The first time we got about 30 booths and shit too, and then pull up and just people we invited, logo artists and shit too, and it went pretty dope. That was the first year.
Yep.
Except we didn't get real good content the first year because the person that we had recorded, the motherfucker dropped the ball. There was no proof that shit ever happened. I thought it was cool, but
it's proof, bro. I was there, and
that was
good.
the first show. Then we were so hyped up because we were gonna like promote it and shit like that. So that shit never happened, man. We learn from your mistakes.
Yep.
Second year, like I said, I got my boy Elijah now. He records a lot of our we upped our game on recording and,
you did.
All that shit because I know it's very important now.
Yeah.
But the same thing, we pretty much found a new warehouse and we just try to, I think every year we're trying to make it look like we're popping up to this random ass warehouse, throwing the show, closing up, bouncing, and it just never happened.
Right.
And we're trying to get to the point to where it's invite only, you know what I mean? Where we're obviously open to the public, but we're trying to showcase the whole like real street culture, bring all the cultures together, black, brown, you know what I mean, white, whatever it takes to just bring everybody, the food. I think food's a big thing, dude. Like the elotero and then the tacos.
Food was good, bro. Yeah, the food was good.
The drinks.
But I'm gonna explain to the people because they may not have been, and I've been, and just the fact that you had graffiti artists doing live graffiti and it was a contest, but just you can watch people doing graffiti.
Mm-hmm.
You can go into the inside of the warehouse and have local artists selling their merch there. You had Lolos out there.
Yeah.
And you had the booths with the food. I mean, it was a vibe that is not indie at all.
Yeah.
It was LA. It was California. It was SoCal. It was Chicano pride. It was dope. I felt like I was at home, bro.
A lot of people there were from like the West Coast and shit too. So, bringing all that together and we're exposing indie to new shit that they're not used to and try to embrace it and hopefully picks on and more people do it and come to the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I loved it, bro. I mean, literally loved it.
Mm-hmm. So and it all played out, man. For me, I was dressing out like the random shit that I thought a lot of shit didn't go our way, man. But most people showed us love, and they said it was dope, and it was
bro.
that all. Now I see it. That just really matters, man.
I love the vibe, man. I'm glad y'all do it, and I'm glad that idea came to life like it did.
Yeah.
And it's only gonna grow.
Yeah, and it was just the same thing. It was just something we weren't like super set on it at random, and it just grew. Now we're getting people asking us right after the show. We got people hitting us up saying, "When's the next show?" And getting people from Chicago or different cities trying to submit, and that's our goal, man. Just to not even invite people. They just the same thing. Be more selective, and whoever really wants it, up and coming artists, if they're really putting in work, we want to give them the platform and continue inviting lowriders and the whole culture, man. That's really what you want to portray, the real authentic street culture, which a lot of people are trying to make money off of shit. All this shit we did was free, dude. We didn't make $1.
Yeah. Damn, well, you will though. Mm-hmm. You will.
But it wasn't about this, about the passion. That's for me, it's always your heart's in it, passion's there.
Yep.
Hopefully one day we do, but like I said, we did it out of love, man.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Trying to bring
you
people
could tell,
together.
Though, but you could tell. Mm-hmm. And that's key.
The cool thing was seeing people like young artists, like seeing my son and people his age or younger, like getting into, they had prints on them and buying art. Yeah. We had a wall they could spray paint and shit too, actually educating a little bit more about art. So that's the next thing. Hopefully we help a kid out, get him into, art, whatever media he wants to get into.
Yep.
But, keep him off the streets and shit like that. That's what really counts for me.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. I don't have much else. I just, I don't know if people can see this work that I got on my hand. I don't know if y'all can see that.
Yeah, they'll see it all week, I'm sure.
Yeah. I'm going to be posting it all the time. How can people find you on social media?
At my Instagram at Dreamtats, DREAMTATTS.
Yeah. And you don't have a website yet, but we're going to get that.
Yeah, I'll get
that website up.
And on my shops, the Artistry Realm, all one word as well.
Yep.
And the other one is Memory Lane Tattoo Club.
Yep. Follow them, please. And follow Dream and hit him up, man. Get something done.
Yeah, let's do it.
Get it done. I want to thank everybody for checking out this podcast. Go to followdmoney.com, buy merch, listen to episodes, support us in any way you can. Support Dream and that Art Connect next year, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Normally we make it around late September, early October. I think that actually just randomly was fucking just 2 years in a row, but we actually like the weather. It's not too cold, it's not too hot. So we're going to continue doing it.
That's what's up, man. Thanks for coming out, bro.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, dog.
All love, dog.
Excited.
All love.
Still excited.
Peace.